Okay, thanks for tuning in, Dynamic Image World. I'm Christian Cashelle, as you all know, and today we have five-time Emmy Rogers Award-winning author Pat Simmons with us today. Welcome.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
before we get into the questions, I have a little icebreaker that I like to do with all the
Okay.
authors. It's a
Okay.
this or that situation. So, I got a couple of
Oh,
these.
okay. Okay.
So, you
Okay.
ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Fiction or nonfiction?
Okay. This or that.
Oh, I love that. Ah,
Fiction.
fiction.
Mhm.
Same. Second chance romance or enemies to lovers?
I'm going to say second chance romance. I love second
Mm,
chance.
love it. A series or a standalone?
I'm going to say a series because my series is going on 16 books. So,
Oh, we love
series,
that.
series for me.
A novella or a full length novel?
Oh, let's see. The novella, the full length. That is so hard. It depends on the mood, but I can't give you an explanation. I have to tell you an answer. I'm gonna say a full length novel.
Gotcha. And it does depend on the mood, though. I give you that one. And then the last one is physical or digital book.
Give me a physical book.
Yes, gotta smell them pages.
Golden pages. Repeat the pages. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay, that was a good little icebreaker round. I think I have most of the same answers as you, except I am like in the enemies to lovers mood right now. So,
Well, my husband and I watch a lot of K drama,
mm,
and you can always tell what their plots are.
gotcha.
And most of the time, it's childhood friend.
Okay.
And saying that, they always enemies to lovers.
So you tired of it?
I mean, I like it. When you know the tropes,
Yeah,
but you just wonder how long are they going to be enemies?
that's true.
So that's the only thing with enemies to lovers. But then, with second chance, it could be how long are you going to wait to give him or her a second chance?
Hmm.
It probably balances out.
That's true. That's true. I can see that. That makes sense. Okay, so first real question is I looked up your profile. So we met before. For those who don't know, we did a panel together for Warm Pages. And so I knew of you, but I went and did a little more research. And you have 50 published titles. Is that correct?
You see all that over there?
Yes. That
I,
is amazing.
thank you. The last count was 30. And people
Okay.
kept saying, so how many books you got? I'm like, I got 30. They said, but you said that last year. And so a couple years ago, I actually counted. And I said, well, I guess I'm not going to stop at 50 books because I'm a little old.
You got a lot more to go.
I know. And I'm thankful. Yeah, I'm thankful.
So with that, how do you stay motivated to keep writing and come up with different stories to tell?
Well, it's not lack of motivation. For me, it's distraction.
Mm.
Wanting to watch that K drama or, wanting to sew or want to go somewhere. So it's just distractions. But so I guess I'm always motivated with what comes to my head. I have a news background. So
Okay.
always topics and stories to me that didn't get a lot of coverage when I worked in TV, like
Mm.
18 years ago. You can see the gray hair. But because of that news background, I'm always curious. And I'm always the what if. I'm working
Mm.
on a book now that is technically done, but I'm going back through it, trying to do the what ifs to make sure I fill it out. But with the news background, I know people say they're character driven, but
Mm.
I'm more issue,
Mm. Okay.
topic driven. Women. are the fastest growing prison population.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, I did my research. I wanted to tell that story. So then I found a character that could tell that story. Um, there's a lot of Black women that can't have children.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to tell that story. So unless it's my Jameson series where the characters, Grandma BB, everybody is defined, I like to deal with issues.
Gotcha.
So I guess you could say I'm plot driven, but I'm really issue driven, really topic.
And
Mhm.
you'll never run out of issues for sure.
Mm-mm, mm-mm, no.
There's always gonna be an issue to talk about. I love that though. I think that also reminds me of Kennedy Ryan said that similar with her romances is that she wants to have a conversation. And that's where she starts and not actually at the romance. So I love that. I had never thought about it like that, but I'm like, that makes sense because that's how you start the conversation. So
Hmm.
your bio says that you are a self-proclaimed genealogy sleuth. Tell us why that is so important, adding that research aspect to your writing.
Oh boy, I love history. I love research. I mean, I came out of news, so you got
Right.
research.
Yeah.
But let me see. It's you see those
Yes. Oh, that's
that's filled with genealogy records and research.
mm.
I mean, I am serious. I I got in it when my great grandmother was passing, and when she died, nobody know how old she was.
Oh
And
wow.
my dad's like, that woman near 100, but nobody knew. And I was maybe 40. And I felt that I deserved to know how old my great grandmother, she had been with me all my life, 40 years.
Right.
So I started doing research. Um, and when I found my great grandmother as an 8-year-old girl, I'm like, oh my God, she really was a kid.
Right.
Because you don't look at them like that. But I
Right.
but I found so many fascinating tidbits
Mm.
about her. Like my grandmother, her daughter was a twin.
Okay.
But I also found out in research that she had twin brothers.
Okay.
And so then I was able to track down my great grandmother's grandmother.
Mm.
Found out she was a twin.
Mm.
So, when you start doing that research, and even with my Jameson series, that was my very first book. And Brenda Jackson was at the time, my favorite romance author because I didn't know any other authors. But baby, she had the Medeiros men. Oh my,
Mhm.
Medeiros men were so fine. Everybody wanted a Medeiros man. So whenever you said Medeiros, everyone knew Brenda Jackson. So,
Mhm.
as a tribute to my ancestors, I decided to name a character after one of my ancestors.
Mm. Okay.
And so I have like 3 generations of Charlotte. So
Mm.
the main character, I named his mother Charlotte. But I needed a name like the Medeiros.
Right.
That when people say, oh, have you read, oh, Pat Simmons? I'm like, well, William's not going to do it. Smith's not going to. And so I came up with Jameson.
Mm.
Just off the top of my head, I'm like, yeah, his name is Park Jameson, Charlotte Jameson. And so it stuck.
Mhm.
What I didn't know was, as I continued to research, I had a deadline and I asked one of my genealogy friends, I said, hey, I can't find William Wilkerson.
Mm.
That's my great grandfather. I said, I know he lived. I know his mother's name was Charlotte.
Right.
I found him on the 1880 census where I can't find him on the 1870. Because when you do genealogy, you backtrack.
Right.
If someone lived in 1880, you know they had to live in 1870.
Right.
If you know they lived in 1870, well, they could have died before 1880, but I knew this dude lived.
Right.
They came back to me in a couple of days and they said, well, the reason why you couldn't find Charlotte Wilkerson was because, drum roll, she was in the slaveholder's house, Robert Jameson.
Mm.
I just went, okay, Lord, I'm on the right track.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. I never knew there was any Jameson in my family at all.
Right.
For me, it just kind of confirmed, okay, you're doing good.
Confirmation. Yeah.
So when I need story ideas for my Jamesons, I'll go look up historical documents and
Mm.
create stories. And one story, if I can find it real quick, because I don't know how much time we got. This
Oh, we're
book,
good.
okay, this book right here, Guilty by Association.
Mm-hmm.
This book came off of one page of a historical document. I was in the library doing my research. I was looking at the 1860 Mississippi morbidity book. And if you never looked at a morbidity book, it is so fascinating. Every state in 1850, 1860 had it. And included in that book is your first name, your last name, how many years, months, days you lived, what you died of in the county. And so not only was I looking for my family, I wanted to see, what did people die of?
Right.
So everybody in that state is in that book. Everybody. So I'm going through the last names, A, B, C. When I get to the last name N, I was not prepared. Just like I wasn't prepared for Jameson to be
Right.
my family. From Ann, Betty, all the way down to Zachary, under the last name N was Negro. So it had nothing to do with my family.
Right.
It was a story that needed to be told. So again, I'm issue driven.
Yeah.
So I came up with this fella right here, Kid Jameson. Guilty by association. I know he's rough and tough, and he is rough and tough. But, but anyhow, guilty by association. I wanted to minister to so many people that were brought up in single family homes, especially young. You know, my mother raised me as a single mom, but he carries his dad's last name. And he's guilty of being a Jameson because of his dad. He hates his last name. He hates his dad. I mean, and he's bitter, and that bitterness took root. And he's rough and tough. Don't mess with him. The gangs ain't got nothing on him. And so this little old lady in the nursing home could recognize that anger, that chip on his shoulder. And she says, baby, it's not the name that makes the man. It's the man. You make your name. And so she begins to tell him about all these Negroes that died. And he said, you lying. I don't believe that. That's when she said, go and look at the 1860 Mississippi morbidity book. So that's how I incorporate history into my fiction books.
I love that. I think that's important because a lot of times people won't look up that history on its own.
No.
They get into a fiction story and it's like, okay, let me research. So
right, exactly. Awesome. And that's my motive. That's my motive right there.
That's good. I love that. Oh, okay. I'm like, you just went through my questions. Oh, okay. No, that was so good. Okay, so if a reader was new to your work, I know this is probably like a loaded question because you have so many. What book would you tell them to start with and why?
Well, when I meet people and I'm doing book signings, I always try to get their background, their taste. My all-time number one favorite book.
We won't tell the others.
Oh, this one. This was the fourth book I wrote.
Okay.
This is the one where the woman served time in prison.
Okay.
This is my favorite all-time book. Very emotional. but she served time in prison. I don't know if someone would want to read a book about a woman who served time in prison. You see what
Right.
I'm saying?
Understand.
So that's why I would always ask, well, tell me a little bit about what you read, but that's
Yeah.
my all-time favorite. And the only reason why I say that is because there was horrific. And when I say horrific, well, we just recently had a horrific situation over in East St. Louis, but
Mm-hmm.
there was a horrific murder of the national food stores. And I don't even know if you were born around that time. This was probably in the late 80s. I don't know.
Okay.
But it was one of those you never forget.
Mm.
And so someone had to die in this book, and I didn't want to do the car accident.
Gotcha.
Because everyone, you got to kill somebody off. It's always but I wanted something so horrific that I was putting a perpetrator with a victim of crime.
Okay.
And it had to be so horrific that it was going to be hard to get over. So what I did, and I really like this story because I want to be a Christian from Sunday to Sunday. Because on Sundays, everybody come to church Christian. They dare you to say they ain't a Christian. But I said, Lord, I want to be Christ-like Sunday to Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm writing this story, I said, how do you love pedophiles? How do you love murderers?
Yeah.
And I was genuine in my question. I
Right.
said, Lord, if I'm going to be like you,
how are you doing
this? How are you loving these people, knowing their faults? And I remember years ago, my late pastor, and I asked him, I said, Bishop, how do you love the saints knowing what they've done? And I mean, I was sincere.
Yeah.
And he said, Sister Pat, you love them with the love of God, but you watch them like a hawk.
Okay.
That's what he said. And I remember that. I mean, but because my character served time in prison, you and I could really hit it off. We can have a good time. We can say we're going to hang out next Saturday, but you don't know my dirt.
Right.
I don't know your dirt.
Right.
What if you found out I served time in prison? You're going to kind of step. I mean, that's just
absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so and it's such an emotional story, but how can I treat someone knowing their dirt with the love of God? And when I finished the book, I had my answer. I said, Lord, if don't nobody else get it, I got it. And that's all that matters. But basically, the Lord has showed me what my pastor said. You look beyond those faults.
Yeah.
You see their needs. And that book just did something to me where it put me in check. You better not judge anybody.
Right.
I don't care if there's somebody on that street begging. You better not say, here's $5, what you gonna do. You better not say, you know what I mean? And so that changed my mindset. And when you start to do that, that's when you become humble.
Yeah.
And so when I'm at church and, you're talking to someone at church, but you see someone across church just sitting there, you go over there and say, hey, sis, what's your name? Did you enjoy the service? It just did something to me emotionally with my Christian walk.
Understood.
I want to be a better person. And if I think I'm going to judge somebody, God reminds me that all souls are his and he knows how to fix them.
Amen.
So that's why but again, she was in prison. Someone may not want that. Someone may want, I have a series about caregivers. I have a series about 4 sisters that keep each other accountable in purity when they have that first love, those hormones and emotions. And you need someone to say, sis.
Right. Remember what the plan is.
Right. Exactly. So, But because I'm issue driven, I have so many different issues. And if they say, well, I want an older couple,
I
gotcha.
got you.
Well,
I love that.
yeah, and and one I wrote from a cousin-in-law, real sweet, beautiful young lady, but she had like 4 kids.
Mm.
And I knew when you have someone that's not married that has that many kids, I knew she was looking for love. She just wanted someone to love her.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, some people feel that they've messed themselves up. It's too late for them. And
Right.
that's where my ministry comes in, that I can write a story. I have a novella where the woman had she really wanted this guy. She moved
Mm.
in with him, knowing they gonna get married, right? She gets pregnant, knowing they gonna get married, right? She gets pregnant again. She walks. She knows how this is going
Mm.
to play out. But the person God had for her was on the sidelines all the time. That watched
Mm.
choose him. That watched her
Mm.
get pregnant. And so that's why I like to write Christian romance, because not only am I going to give you a romantic story, but I'm going to give you encouragement that no matter what your situation is, romance is still for you.
Right. I love that. I love that it's inspirational romance, is what you
Yeah,
say it is, right? I love
right.
that.
Hmm.
I do want to switch a little bit and talk more about the business side of it, because I think that is a thing that a lot of independent authors and publishers struggle with. What do you feel like is the biggest challenge and also the biggest misconception when it comes to the independent publishing game?
Well, I think whether you're independent or traditional, I think the biggest misconception is you don't work.
Oh, yes.
And we have to hold ourselves accountable for that.
Mm-hmm.
When people say, "Can you do that?" I can. I got to work. Not I got to write. I got
Right.
to work. You have to get
Mm,
that mindset that I got to work. And once you get that mindset, people will be able to respect that. One of the
that's good.
challenges, I mean, it's true, and I'm
Yeah.
guilty. I'm guilty. Oh, I got to get work done. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I was at an online, and I do a lot of conferences. I was at an online conference this past weekend, and it went over copyright, it went over plots, it went over agent contract, it went over so much stuff. It was just so good.
Mm,
The challenge for me today is different from when I started. I mean, I got 50 books. So for
right.
me, it was nothing for me to get on the road, meet
Mm,
with churches, meet with book clubs, meet at bookstores, go to military bases. Now that doesn't even matter.
mm,
So the challenge for me, the challenge that I have put on myself is to increase my readership. That's my challenge. And unfortunately, the only way we're going to be able to do that as authors is to have an increased social media presence. That's the only way.
unfortunately.
When I get off from you, I'm going to jump on to my different platforms. And I have a lady at my church who has a degree in digital communication. So she does a lot
Mm,
of social media. And
gotcha.
I, was just talking about, some of the likes and hits. And she was saying, Sister Pat, find out what works and stick with it. And
Yeah.
amazingly, what works for me is when I go to these museums, research and do a video, they love that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. All right. That type of thing.
Like, y'all like this? Okay.
This is just research. I'm just showing off
Right.
what I've been doing. So
Mhm.
I think that's the biggest challenge, is whether you have one book or 50 books, is everyone has not read your book. Everyone.
Yeah.
And so when I went to Black Romance Book Fest,
Oh, did you go?
I went. I was
Okay.
so overwhelmed. I mean, I've been to Cardinal games. I've been to church conventions, but to see Black people, to see Black women that came to buy a book.
And was buying a lot of them.
Yes, that I was call myself prepared. I wasn't, but the reason why I say that, a lot of them were independent authors, besides
Mhm.
Kennedy Ryan and all the other
Right.
ones. But when I saw the lines
Mm.
for these indie authors, I said, okay, it's up to me.
Yeah.
I got to step up my game. I should be having those lines.
Yeah.
I got to meet readers where they are. So, my goal, and I would say to anybody, is to have a presence on social media. I mean, and I'm saying that unfortunately because it's time consuming.
Yes.
It is, and it appears like Instagram and TikTok, they love live stuff. They don't care
Mhm.
about being on sale. I mean, maybe, but they like live videos. I have a newsletter, which I tell everyone you need to have a newsletter. When I teach workshops and I tell them these are the staples that you need to have when
Yeah.
you start off. So I would just say read other people's books, see what they do well, see what how you critique them, and see what you can do better. And get on social media. You will get book deals on social media. You will get readership on social media. And it's now that's your enemies to lovers, okay? Social media, our enemies but to lovers. I mean, you got
Yes. And I think another thing just to add to that is not even just what we're posting, but how we're interacting with other people's pages. I
yeah.
found even for me, because at first I would just post and be like, well, where everybody at? And nobody was coming. And then when I started interacting with readers and other authors and other pages, then they were coming. And I was like, oh, okay. So I just got to be social. Like, I
Right.
don't know. I don't want to do that. I just
Look,
want to
you got to
write
be social,
on social
sociable on
media.
social media. Right. Yeah. But when you find that formula that works for you,
Yeah,
a lot of times you don't have to post if you repost or just engage.
exactly.
And I found, I don't know about you, but I found threads.
Threads is yes.
It's a great way to find those readers.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I mean, where we been?
And it's one of those things. Well, I didn't even want to get on it, and somebody kept saying, "Get on it. It's going from Instagram," and I'm like, "Okay, whatever." And it was a whole nother world that opened up. So that's I definitely agree with that. That was actually one of my questions was how do you stay on trend, and with the longevity of your career? But you kind of answered that basically, just being open. I think is the biggest thing to new channels.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, we didn't have that when I started. You just had to hit the road, Jack, and show
Yeah.
pictures that you were there. But now I mean, people are getting book deals because they got all these followers, whether they can
Mhm.
write or whether they
Or
want to
not.
or not, or whether they want a book deal. I mean, they're getting deals. They're getting acting deals. They're getting
Yeah.
product placement deals. And so I am I have 50 books. And I know
I love
everyone has
that.
not read my books. So I mean, I could keep writing, which I'm doing, but only my pocket of people are going to keep reading my books. Where everybody else at?
Right.
I think a lot of them are on threads, and I think I could spend all day on threads just responding to the writing reader community as well as the Christian community.
Yep.
I could spend all day on threads just from the tidbits that I've seen.
Yeah. I agree with that. Um, one more thing that I saw on your page that I thought was super cute.
Okay.
You say you are the queen of cute meats. Explain to the people who don't know what a cute meat is and why you feel like that's space you landed in?
Well, I didn't even know what a cute meat was until someone else told me. But I just like people, just strangers meeting.
Hmm.
I'll put it like that. And I don't know if this is a cute meet because this may be enemies to lovers too. But you know how it is. This is the Christmas novella I'm working on. And the cute meet for them is that she's been waiting for this parking space blinker on waiting. You just zoomed in. Don't know if I would call that a cute meet, but that'd be enemies to lover. But I just like strangers meeting
Mm.
under just different circumstances. And I thought about that one. My Christmas, it was a short story. It wasn't even a novella. I had so many writing deadlines last year. But she was a gig worker delivering groceries.
Mm.
I had ordered grocery, but he left his little niece and nephew, and they went shopping.
Mm.
And so when he came to the door to get his groceries, he's fussing at them and looked up, and wow.
Yeah, I love stuff like that. That's not like, we get so many billionaire romances, and it's like, come on, let's do something a little more realistic sometimes. I love that.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, I wouldn't mind writing me a
No,
billionaire.
absolutely.
I mean, how much money my person has to make to be qualified as a billionaire with the boats and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I try to be realistic. I'm thinking another one of my books, my character, again, topic driven, has anxiety and panic
Mm.
attacks. You living in this country at this time, you're gonna have some type of anxiety.
Some
And
type.
I didn't want it to be taboo. And so she is having one on the highway. So she's
Mm.
trying to pull over, and this guy is watching her. He gets out to see if you're okay. He's knocking on the window, roll down the window. And she's like, I don't know you. You
Right.
could be a murderer. You trying to kill me on the highway. One of those cute meets, come to find out, he is supposed to interview her for a
Mm.
so I like the cute
What's
meet.
the name of that one?
That one is every woman needs a praying man.
Oh yeah, I need to read that one.
Yeah. Every woman, every woman needs a praying man. You
I'm gonna
know,
put that one at the top of the list.
yeah. I mean, but that's what I'm saying is everything is issue driven that can
Yeah.
minister to whatever is going on in your life. I mean, to me, what's the purpose in buying my book? Being entertained, not learning something, and not being inspired.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
agree.
Christian romance. That's why it's for me, to inspire people to think they've been left outside the room when it comes to romance.
I love that. That's really good. Hmm. Now I'm like, I'm gonna go start reading this book right now.
Well,
That was that.
this is a novella, and this
Okay.
is a novel. This was the first biggest book I wrote, and it's been cut down. But this is part of a 5-book series, and it's a series only because it's dealing with the theme, love at the
Okay.
various situations, and so it's just dealing with issues. You know,
Yeah.
I want people to walk away and say, "There's hope for me." Yeah.
So you don't neglect your backlist at all, is what I'm getting from that.
I didn't hear you.
You don't neglect your backlist of books, because a lot of people, what I find, some of my author friends only promote their newer books.
Oh.
And I don't necessarily agree with that, because I'm like, all of my babies are still important. I have
Mm.
12, so I'm definitely not close to 50 like you.
Yeah,
But
but
I'm getting there.
you okay. You doing good. You're doing good. Well, I mean, my series, this is part of a 15 book series.
Okay.
What I heard this weekend at this conference is that a lot of readers are getting tired of series. And I'm like, oh,
Mm.
Oops. Oh
Right.
well. But it again, that falls back on what interests you.
Right.
Now, if you hadn't asked me the question, you never would have known.
Right.
I had this book, which is why I always ask people. And so when I ask people, I can say, um, a young lady from my church came over and she's young. I mean, maybe is she 30? I mean, she's young. She's married and her son has autism.
Mm.
So that's a challenge and they're young.
Right. Yeah.
So I have a book out of my Families Forever Caregivers where this woman is interested in this guy, but he's a young grandfather
Mm.
of a child that had autism. So
Gotcha.
I wanted to show she may not read any of my other books, but she'll
Right.
read that.
Read that one. Yeah.
I mean, so with my backlist, it just, I mean, when you tell me stuff, that's why I keep rolling across the room, pulling stuff out because they all are dealing with different issues or topics.
Yeah. I love that.
So it's, people that love the genealogy and the research. I had a beta reader. She's like, okay, we're going to know about. So I'm like, yeah, because that's a little bit more time consuming because I have to have historical documents.
Right.
My backlist, I'm like, I can put out another book. Well, I will put out a Christmas book, a Christmas novella, because people have a fit if I don't have. They call me Queen of Christmas books, but I just depending on what you need at the time is what I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. That's good. That's
Mhm.
good. Well, you kind of answered my last question, which is
Okay.
what's next from your desk. So is that the Christmas novella or are we working on something else?
Well, I'm working on the Christmas novella, which I really need to have the rough draft probably finished by the end of this month. I'm not a pantser. I like to plot. And then probably by the seventh chapter, the characters are taking over.
Do what they want.
I gotta get started. But Love Has No Secrets, and I don't have that poster up here anymore. That's the one that is done, but I'm going back kind of adding stuff. But then I have a historical that book. But I mean, history is right up my alley. And then I have another one that I need to fix it. It's been written, it's been edited, but it's jacked up.
Gotcha.
It needs to be fixed. And it's an important topic. It's about a woman who got pregnant, gave up her baby, and now has regrets. She gonna find that baby. And so I wanna write that story. I mean, the story's written, but it needs to be chopped up and yeah, I'm not doing that, but yeah. So that's kind of the Christmas novella. And then this book is called Love Has No Secrets, and they both got some secrets. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Well, I appreciate you so much for talking to me today. I am excited.
Invite.
Yes, I'm excited to see you in October along with the other authors. And I just look forward to it. I'm excited.
Well, Christian, thank you so much for remembering me and bringing me on for that event, inviting me. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much. All righty. You have a good night.
Thank you. You too.